Well, speaking of extraordinary women, I have actor, TEDx speaker, author of Embracing Me, April Hernandez from the Bronx, New York, here with me. April, welcome. I am so excited to have you here on the show today.
Thank you so much. You look absolutely
Oh,
beautiful.
and you as well, as
Thank
as always. Now, April, you have had an incredible life story, and I know that loneliness has been a thread in your own life. Why don't you share with us about your journey in and through loneliness?
Loneliness. Wow. I would have to say the time where I felt the most lonely and was during my postpartum of my first child, Summer Rose. It was a thing of you're supposed to be excited, you're supposed to be, having this amazing moment with motherhood, but yet I was experiencing severe postpartum and I felt extremely lonely because being Latina, we really don't ever speak about postpartum or not feeling right or not feeling connected to your child. So that added a level of loneliness that I've never experienced before in my life.
Wow.
Mhm.
Loneliness too, people would be like, but you're an actor and you're successful and you're out there and you're an author, and people wouldn't equate loneliness with someone that seems and looks so successful on the outside.
Right. Listen, I'm an extrovert. I love television. I love people. But yes, it can happen to anyone. It really doesn't matter how much success you have in your life or how much money you have. And I think that's what makes it even harder to deal with, right? Because everyone expects you to be a certain way.
Mm.
And once you begin going through these, it's chemically in your mind, you don't feel right and you don't know how or when it's going to change. And that adds a level of depression. I mean, there were days where I could not get out of bed. Getting out of bed was harder than anything else.
Mhm.
And I remember I had a friend where she would call me, and it gets me emotional because she would stay on the phone with me to just hear me cry. And she would just say, "All I need you to do is get up and go brush your teeth.
Mhm.
If you can do that, then that is you've succeeded." And that is how I was able to deal with the loneliness.
It's so important, right, April, to have those people in your life,
Mhm.
to have
Absolutely.
to have those kinds of friends. What would you say to the women who don't have that, who don't have the friend that you did to call you when you were going through a postpartum and also feeling deeply lonely?
It's interesting because I feel like everyone's journey is different, right? Everyone has their way of coming out of it. And I think I really feel at the end of the day, it's a choice that you have to make for yourself and saying, okay, I'm feeling this loneliness. Let me figure out what is causing me to feel this, right? How do I identify what is causing this? I knew that I was depressed because of a chemical imbalance that I had no control over.
Mhm.
So it's one of those things of I began going to a therapist, and really that's what my TED talk was about. It was talking and having a moment with my therapist and being able to feel free and saying, I'm not happy as a mom. I'm not happy. All everything that I was expecting, it didn't happen. And so I'm angry, but she allowed me the space, right? And
Mhm.
if there are women who don't have that space, then journal, begin writing, begin talking into a camera, right?
Right.
Even whoever you need to talk to, but don't allow those thoughts to remain in your brain, in your mind, in your soul, because that's what really makes everything worse.
Now, I love that advice. And, as you now are an author, your book, Embracing Me, what would you
Mm.
say about, for you, that sort of resilience part and the hope and your life now? I mean, that's, people that are in loneliness, they're kind of stuck and it's like, this is my life, it's a dark place. But what's the hope you can give them? Because you're now out of it and this is where you are.
I kept telling myself, this too shall
Yes.
pass. I just kept saying, this too shall pass. With this pandemic, this too shall pass, right? There's a season for everything. There's a time to cry, there's a of joy. And it really is. Now, sometimes some of those seasons feel longer than other situations. But it's one of those moments where you just say to yourself, I choose to be okay. I choose to be better. I choose to not allow this to break me. And that really is what embracing me is about.
Amazing. You know what? I'm so proud of you. I mean, your story, you're one of my like favorite actors. I've watched you on a number of shows and in your Freedom Writers movie, and just proud of you with your new book. So April, thank you so much for the encouragement of pushing through loneliness and choosing to say, this too shall pass. Thank you so much for your life and your inspiration to us today.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us. And if you loved our show, our content and conversation, we have more bonus content right here. And please, please, please subscribe to our channel because there's so much bonus material and content that we'd love for you to see right here. Right here. Yep, I'm waiting for you. Right here, subscribe. Okay, see ya, and thanks for joining us.